Welcome back to the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2019. Here we go, continuing coverage of day 2 of the $100,000 buy-in super high roller from Atlantis, Paradise Island. So we took the break early because we got down to 16 players. They have conducted the redraw. The final 16 players we balanced across 2 8-handed tables, and we will continue playing down to our final 8 tonight. It's been going pretty quickly, but play is likely to slow down. The average stack is pretty deep, and with the money bubble being, when we get to 9, chances are it's going to take some time to get down to 8 players. 8 players who will share the prize pool of $5.9 million, and min cash worth $236K with $1.7 million up top. I'm James Hunichen, joined by Lex Veldhuis.
You know, every little stage has its charm, and what's really cool now is that we see some deep stack poker from some beasts, so I can't wait.
61 total entries, including 18 re-entries, and here's who's left. Hunichen was the start of day chip leader. He's still chip leader with 1.6 million. He's going to be on the main stage at the feature table. We've got Stephen Chidwick, Chris Hunichen, Greg Jensen, Talasha Kirchi, Igor Kurganov. All those guys have more than $1 million. Jesus Lozano. Haven't seen him in a super high roller before. He was a runner-up in EPT Barcelona back in 2010. Justin Bonomo is in the top 8. The bottom end of the leaderboard, Sam Greenwood, Jean-Noel Thorel, Steve O'Dwyer, Nikita Bodziakowski, Andres Namath, Alex Foxen, Stefan Sontheimer, and João Vieira, who again will be at the feature table. He is the shortest stack, but he's got 33 bigs, which testifies to how deep this thing is right now.
Yeah, he's also one of the best tournament players in the world, so he'll know.
Which is pretty much what you've said about everyone who's been featured in this super high rollers.
Yeah, but it's true. Everybody could be mentioned as one of the best, and João had an amazing year online as well. He's won big tournaments, coups left, right, and center. It's been a crazy ride for him, and there's no stopping. He puts a lot of effort and time into it, and I've played a lot against him, and he's always very impressive to me.
Agility, I think a little bit, not even that, I don't know, reaction timing.
Yeah. Hunichen.
I think Henrik is a really cool first name.
It is a cool first name. Strong.
Yeah, it's strong. Yeah. There must be a guy in Vikings called Henrik, right?
Straight off the set, this guy.
What are you doing, Floki? This is a good turn for Vieira. He can make a straight with a 10, and he has a club draw now. He also blocks nut flushes, which is very important. But Hecklin is going to feel very comfortable with his holding.
And you were number 20 in the world. Not much money to be made with it. I would rather be more than that in poker.
142. You can lose a bunch of money in poker, though. You can lose a bunch of money in poker. Lose a bunch of money in poker.
Oh, look at that bet. 142,000. 3/4 pot.
Queen on the river. 2 pair now for Hecklin.
And now we see what João is going to do. This always the all right, turn, okay, bet big, and then I always wonder about this river spot because this is where they make you sweat. This is why these guys are so annoying to play against. I think half of my gray hair is because of guys like this.
Really?
Yeah, it's just...
He's flagged fingernail?
312. 312.
You see, just... You know how tough this is to play against? Like, even when you have king-queen, you know how tough this is?
I'm not good enough. I mean, of course, I'm just gonna insta-crying call here. But
Yeah.
I'm not that good of a player.
But he blocks the nut straight. He blocks the nut flush. And look at his board. Yeah, great, you have top 2. Everything is out there.
It is a straighty, flushy board.
Gotta love it. Just gotta love it.
Usually it's the opposite.
I just think it's incredible that every hand is so painful
Yeah, but
for
that's why
somebody.
yeah, that's why poker's so tiring. He makes the call. Great call. Yeah. Oh well.
And that was half of Vieira's remaining stack he bet on the river. He's down to 19 big blinds now.
Yeah.
Tried to make it look as value as he could. But in the end, 2 pair is a very tough laydown.
I noticed it over the last year. I started streaming higher buy-ins than I did before, and I just noticed how much more tiring it got just because every single hand is a battle.
Yeah.
Every single hand is a battle, and it's fun, you know, in the competition. It's amazing, and I really enjoy it. But people just don't let any pots go. Everybody tries to at least put the other guy through some pain. Alright, so we have Bonomo opening with 10s, Chidwick flatting with the ace-queen, Hecklin coming along, and Greenwood considering his options in the...
So many playable hands here. Sam out of the way. Nine high flop. Hello, 10s.
I really
2
like
hearts though.
I really like the fold from Greenwood there with Jack 10. He only had to pay a little bit more than a big blind, but it's so likely that he's dominated with 3 other people in the pot that hitting a Jack or a 10 might actually cost him way more money than make it. Bonomo checks his 10s. And he might get a pretty nice spot to check raise if Hecklin decides to bet here. He does. Never know though. Let's see how Bonomo responds to this one.
What if this comes running hearts and one of them's a 10?
Then Hecklin wins.
Right, but maybe there'll be some action.
Oh, that way. Yeah, I just think there's a big chance he's gonna shove. Yeah.
There is the shove from Bonomo.
And looks like Hecklin insta called. Yeah, he calls.
Hecklin has 9 outs. Bonomo facing elimination. See if Bonomo's ridiculous run of high roller results continues into 2019.
Thanks, buddy.
I actually did.
I bought the 10 of hearts.
6 on the turn.
It's a card. That is a turn card.
Gives
No, the 8 doesn't work.
Hecklin more outs.
But yeah, I'll take it. I would prefer the 4.
Ten of hearts on the river is the flush
I bought the 10 of diamonds.
for Hecklin. Justin Bonomo is Gonomo. Eliminated. 16th place. 15 to go.
Definitely adjusting everything.
And Heinrich Hecklin is now up to 2.74 million, 171 big blinds. But in a tournament like this, you're not even safe to make the money, I would think.
No, true, very true, yeah.
With a stack that big.
Yeah, and there's many other big stacks out there. He could lose a 6 setup and all of a sudden be in the middle of the pack, and then who knows what's going to happen.
Какую ставку ты делаешь? Если я играю сплит, какую ставку ты делаешь? Если я играю 35 и 100%.
All right, Greenwood opens from small blind with ace king. VR defense with jack 3 offsuit. He's in position though.
Ну, больше должно быть.
Really good flop for him here. 106,000 in the middle already. Vieira with 270 behind.
Vieira's itty bitty 3 is the best hand right now. Pretty small bet here from Greenwood.
Now the question is, does he raise and get it in if he can, or does he call?
Are you at all suspicious of the small bet if you're in Vieira's spot?
You don't really have the room to be.
Got it. You're just like, you know what? I have a pair. I've got enough of my chips invested in this pot. Vieira has raised.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The Russian commentary.
It's a little bit harder to outdraw an overpair here. I mean, unless it's lower than the jack kicker, but at the same time, you're going to get paid more because it's harder to hit this board. It's hard to have a 6.
On.
Goes all in, and that will get a call from Vieira, I think. Very complicated situations, these.
Is it just the dynamic of the small versus big that makes you give pause, that there's just so many hands?
Yeah. These are just really complicated spots. Yeah, he makes the call. And he's out ahead. 72% favorite.
What?
He's just going to have to fade.
Thought it was good after the 2 time banks.
A couple of big cards.
I mean, not
After
time.
one
It's
time, maybe, not after.
it's a big pot, but yeah, I just thought it was good.
On the turn and river. And that is a big card, but not one of the ones Green was looking for. But Vieira can be counterfeited now.
True.
9 outs for Greenwood. Queens, kings, and aces all working for it. It's an ace on the river, the Barry Greenstein.
Not the river I was looking for.
We're getting one more player.
Ace on the river.
I won 3-1.
Flaming out Joao Vieira's super high roller aspirations.
Anyone? $100 versus $300?
He is out of here in 15th place.
I think it's
14
3-1.
players
But I
remaining.
think
Now
with
I'm
the guy
willing
who
to
would,
say we're
he
on the
has
soft
big
bubble.
cards. He's on soft roll.
I know.
I mean, Steve's been pretty on. Steve's been on soft roll too.
3-1.
We need a player on the big line.
I stopped acting on them. I stopped acting on them against good players.
I don't need to hide when I'm all in. Like, I'm so fine with when
I
I'm
know.
in that spot.
Well, in that spot, yeah.
In that. Gripper all
But in
in
many
a big pot
spots
is something
usually.
else. Yeah,
I don't know. Even
All right, we're
there,
going to see a
usually
flop. Ace on ace. Domination Nation.
I don't know.
Hecklin still got nearly twice the chips of anybody else at this table.
This might be trouble.
Yeah, he is likely to pick up a few more here. Don't let the 1.0 million fool you. He still has, that's for Nemeth, he's still got 50 big blinds. Chris Williams asked, did Spraggy buy to the 100K? I just joined and only caught the tail end of the conversation. That's putting it lightly. 5 bullets in the 100K.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what he had to do to get that money.
Oh, yeah.
Bet and a call. Small third pot bet from Hecklin, called by Nemeth. Can you go for 3 streets here, Lex?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think we're going to see a much bigger bet on the turn. Oh, wow. He's really stacking.
By the way, I realize sometimes we say things that, you know, new viewers may not understand. When I say, can you go for 3 streets, what I mean is, can you bet 3 times on the flop, on the turn, in the river with this hand? Sometimes you'll see a lot of players check, even though they have a good hand, because they know that they can't get called on all 3 streets by a hand that's beating them very often. So they'll often check for something called pot control to make sure the pot doesn't get too big. We've all been in that situation before. We get bet flop, bet turn, and we get called both times. And on the river, we're like, oh, wait a second.
Hold up.
Wait.
This is getting a little bit
maybe this is too good to be true.
Yeah. Look at this bet, though. 230K.
64.
And so Lex is of the opinion that this is a hand in a situation where you probably can bet all 3 streets. So we've seen the flop bet. This is the turn bet. And both times, the first time the bet was about 1/3 of the pot. Now Hecklin's gone for bigger sizing, more than 2/3 pot, and he's getting called again. This is big, big trouble.
Yeah, I think he's going to slow down on spades and possibly a king or a queen. But...
And that is not a spade or a king or a queen. It is kind of a dicey card, though.
Yeah, and normally you would say, you very much think, oh, it's a dicey card. But he bets so big on the turn, there's actually such a big chance that...
even a 10 would fold?
Yeah, that the 10 would fold, so that he's up against a weaker ace here. I mean, I think checking is absolutely fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hecklin finds it in him to go for some value here.
Oh, checking behind is fine, right. Okay, yep.
250.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him, and I think when Nemeth reacts like that, he certainly can't raise.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. There's no point. Yeah.
So no poker face there.
Yeah, but once you know it's the final decision anyway, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, very nasty spot. It just shows what a great bet this is too.
Absolutely agree.
Very well played by Hecklin.
A lot of folks asking on Twitch about why Spraggy's bullets were underdocumented. PokerStars on Twitch, thank you for handling those questions. Day 1. We were not covering this tournament on day 1.
So tragic.
Kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is not one of those situations. All right, it's cool. You know, normally somebody just bets kind of small on the turn or something. The river is awkward for that person too, and you lose a little bit of money. But look at this betting pattern.
So what hands does Nemeth convince himself Hecklin has to make a call here? Like king, queen, spades?
Yeah, spades, king, queens, that sort of thing.
Maybe the 10 saves him too here.
Yeah, I mean, the 10 definitely makes it a little bit easier to fold. But that's why Hecklin adjusts his sizing, right? And he makes the sizing lower to kind of...
I'm on number 3.
You're on 4 now.
This is 4.
This is 4.
Feels like it's the third one. Me too. 20.
And if you fold too often in this spot, it's exploitable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then you just get pounded.
Nemeth calls. Very difficult spot for Andras Nemeth. Lots of players are going to play that the exact same way.
Yeah. And it's just much to Hecklin's credit too, because it's not just the fact that he has ace deuce against this line, you know, against these betting amounts, but it's also the fact that you respect Hecklin as a player to know that he's going to put a ton of pressure, also when he has bad hands, you know.
I will like this where you only get.
He could have 7-8 for a turn straight draw that he just fires, and you know, Hecklin is such a well-rounded player that you just got to give him credit sometimes, and
Everyone is
yeah, his reputation just earns him that river call.
Me too.
Pocket nines for Nemeth.
Go for the bunker. Didn't call check.
Wojciechowski
Five?
folds pocket threes.
4-7.
Igor asking for a count in the small blind. Kurganov with 9-7. Thinking about getting a little goofy here, I guess. Is that a call? Interesting.
Yeah.
I expected 9.
45?
Calls.
And Greenwood obviously coming along for the ride now. It's so much fun.
Yep.
Three's not a crowd.
There's some action boards that could come of this.
5-7 king. No flush draw.
Yeah, it's all right though.
Pair of sevens for Kurganov.
Three players.
Checks around. And another
Wow.
7 for Igor. This could be big, big trouble for Andras Nemeth.
Bet.
Kurganov leading now. 65,000, yeah. Greenwood folds his pair of fives. I didn't even, just totally ignored the fact that Greenwood had a pair too.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
It's a big difference for him to have somebody behind him as well.
Two players.
8 on the river. So unfortunately for Nemeth, this board ain't too scary for him.
Yeah. The backdoor flush draw missed as well. It's unlikely Igor has 6-4 or 9-6 from the small blind. I think pocket eights check the turn.
All in.
All in.
Ooh.
Announced all in.
Igor all in, and Nemeth with another really difficult river decision on his hands. This one much more difficult. Well, at least the stakes are much higher. This is for his tournament life.
Yeah, for sure.
This hand is probably a little bit more susceptible. And he is all out of time bank chips, it looks.
He makes the call.
He calls, and that's it. He's out of here.
All hands, it's an all in. All hands must be exposed.
Sorry to all the Andras Nemeth fans, all you Nemeth heads out there.
Igor running pretty good today.
Your boy, Andras Nemeth, eliminated in 14th place, down to 13 now. 4 from the bubble.
Celebrate.
Things could have
Igor Kurganov up to 1.6 million.
We can celebrate, man.
Second of chips at this table.
things could have got really really spicy there.
Steven Chidwick under the gun has raised 45,000. Mikita Bajakovsky has moved all in, king 10 of spades. Chidwick makes the call, Bajakovsky at risk. At risk of soft bubbling this 100K event.
I think I had 4-4 with the 4 of spades.
Oh man, spades are bad.
Oh no, 2% gone.
But this is why we call it a life.
Igor said it. This is why we
CB's
call it a
round
life.
one.
No idea what that means. Let's get to the flop.
Coming.
Boom.
Queen high flop, 3 hearts. Hearts not a factor unless this somehow turns into 5 hearts on the board. Bajakovsky not looking good to survive this.
People gonna call for the jack of hearts. Oh my god.
That's the card.
Bad card.
This would be tough.
3 outs now for Bajakovsky. 1 card to come, otherwise the super high roller trophy will be out of reach for Mikita Bajakovsky. Gone, 13th place, 12 remain.
Yeah, I knew about that. So I tried to get that
Mikita Bajakovsky.
In the final table.
Action at our second table. And it's Jesus Cortez has got cards. Chris Hunichen's got cards. And that's a bet. Jean-Noel Thorel, haven't seen much from him. How you doing, you old son of a gun? Thorel does not have many chips. I think this would be an all-in or a fold for him. All in for Thorel. And Cortez calls. Ace 10. There is a 10 on the board. What does Jesus have? King Jack of diamonds. Queen of diamonds on the river. That's the flush for Jesus Cortez Lozano. So Jean-Noel Thorel eliminated in 12th place.
Steve O'Dwyer has been knocked out by Chris Hunichen. He ran ace-5 into ace-10. That's going to take us down to 10 players. There is the departure of Alex Fox. Ran ace-6 into 10s, did not improve, which means we are down to 9 players. The final redraw of the 100K Super High Roller is being conducted, and the remaining 9 players are going to take their seats on the main stage. So suddenly they go from playing short-handed to 9-handed, plus they will be on the bubble. The next player out leaves with nothing. Then everyone is guaranteed a min cash of $236,720. Up top, 1.77 million.
As far as poker jabs are concerned, these guys are all playing nearly perfectly.
So smart.
It's gotta feel so weird if you're Stefan Sontheimer.
Clinging on with your 7 bigs.
Yeah, just knowing everyone's just waiting for you to go broke.
So Chris Hunichen opens here with ace-7 in the hijack. Pocket 9s for Jesus Cortez.
Wasn't a real test. Think for a second. About what? Making sure first instinct is right.
Just a call. Greenwood looks interested.
He looks in pain.
Pocket 3s on the button.
That would explain it.
Lets it go.
That was a hit.
Greg Jensen.
Oh, wow.
All in for 13 big blinds from the
That's
small blind with ace-queen.
That is wild. With a player with 7 big blinds?
425. 425.
Well, he might get this shove through Hunichen, but it probably ain't going to get through Cortez.
This is a little crazy.
Jesus calls.
We are flipping for the bubble.
Yeah, a race on the bubble of the super high roller. Jensen at risk. He's the player with the overcards. He needs to hit to survive.
Greg Jensen.
And if 9s hold here, we make the money, and Sontheimer is guaranteed a min cash with his 7 big blind stack.
And if Jensen manages to double up, Sontheimer's in big, big trouble. Even bigger than before.
Didn't want to point fingers here.
Jack 6-4 on the flop. 5 outs for Jensen.
That's a fun card here. 10 or
Jensen's
king.
face looking
Going for
defeated
profit.
after those first 3 cards peeled off. No additional outs. 1 card to come.
If we don't have an ace or a queen on the river, we're in the money. The super high roller. Jensen set to bubble unless he can hit one of his 5 outs. It's an 8. He's out. And the final 8 are guaranteed a slice of the $5.9 million prize pool. Jensen has bubbled this 100K event.
Man, oh man. I know who Stefan Sontheimer's new favorite player is.
That's fine with you.
No, you stand up and hug him.
Can't hide that smile though. Cannot hide it. There's no reason to hide it.
No, there is.
No.
Greg Jensen.
Do we finish the level or what's the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, even though I know Greg's a fairly wealthy guy, I don't feel great about this. I mean, that's a really brutal spot to go out for anybody.
Like, let's make it.
Should have jammed there. I have no clue. 5.5 bigs.
I'll give you a start point. Should I?
Chidwick with ace-jack under the gun.
64 raise up to 65,000.
What's the equity difference in terms of how many blinds you're playing for?
Raises to 65K.
Yeah, well, that's
Kurgels folds.
Henrik, out.
Okay, Sontheimer, super short stack. Not going to play 9-5.
Wow, still nothing.
Probably just wait until I'm auto all in the big blind, makes it easier.
Cortez in the small blind. Sam Greenwood in the big.
Ace-6 of hearts.
All right. Sam's got 50 big blinds. Again, I don't expect anything crazy here pre-flop. And Chidwick starts with 31 big blinds. So again, with Sontheimer with 5 big blinds, this should be pretty passive.
King 8-7. So Greenwood with a couple of backdoor draws. Chidwick still ahead with ace-jack high. Near enough a 3-1 favorite to win the pot outright.
Greenwood should check to the razor.
60,000.
Chidwick continues. 60,000 into a pot of 175,000.
Small continuation bet. Now there are some good turn cards for Sam. Any heart, some straight cards, so he is going to call.
got a funny answer from Dom.
And that's one of those good turn cards for Sam. Now he's got the nut flush draw.
I'm just disgusted. Oh, it's fine. Would have been so stressful anyway. Chips, don't make it, you make it. In cashers.
So Greenwood is checked for a second time.
I'm a happy man.
Does Chidwick barrel? Yes.
300?
300,000. He overbets the pot.
Wow.
There's 295,000 in the middle.
And that's a big chunk of Chidwick's chips. He's got a pot-sized bet left behind, and that's before Greenwood makes the call. Hoochie mama. Now, I don't know if Greenwood will call or just put Chidwick all in, but I know whatever he does is the right decision. So, yep, calling's the right decision.
Okay, so we've got a pot of 895,000. Chidwick, the effective stack, just shy of 600K behind.
I thought it would be unlikely to play for a huge pot right there. There's the Queen of Hearts on the river.
Greenwood rivers the nut flush and checks it. And Chidwick is clearly setting this up for a move on the river.
But with Sondheimer having 5 big blinds, again, it seems like there could be better times to make a move like this. Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's a virtual all-in. He's left himself with one chip.
All in.
6-3. Yes, all in.
And Chidwick lets it go.
Oh, he has to. He's never winning there, and he's definitely out of the tournament if he calls. And he leaves himself one chip.
How weird.
One actual chip left behind.
But he's going to be forced all in on the next hand because he's the big blind.
He's going to have a better chance of winning that next hand with one chip than he did from calling there.
Good point, well made. So no elimination, but Chidwick on vapors as Greenwood chips up to over 2.6 million.
Wrong now.
What a weird hand.
You big as well.
What a weird hand.
Ringing around in Stephen Chidwick's brains are the words of Joe Stapleton from 2013. All it takes is a chip and a chair. He still has a chair. He still has one chip.
He is still in this tournament with 0 big blind.
No, 50K.
Neither singular nor plural. 0.
That's 250 in this game.
Not even an ante, not even a small blind. That is a crazy hand.
He can take the full ante, right? Not now, but in the next hand, for example.
Yeah. But that's just the thing.
Somebody told
Doesn't
me
sound fair.
that
It seems fair
you're
to everyone,
supposed-
though.
Somebody told me you're supposed
Well,
to
everyone can.
leave back one ante.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to
But
leave
you're
back
always with
less
the
than an
dynamic of
ante,
all in except 1, 2.
which would be a big blind.
Yeah.
And like that was the rule when they had in normal ante structures.
You make
you can-
people have
I
I
to
think
go
that
all
makes
in
sense.
to make them put the
But,
I think making you leave back one blind.
Nothing we
is
can do
like-
about it now.
But he can win the whole small blind.
I left behind an
But then you
ante
know-
once.
No,
I was at a rest stop on a family vacation, and boy, was she angry.
Like it
Yeah,
was
I
the
know.
same thing with like when we were all anteing. It was still the best play. It just happens to be that people only now realized it.
I mean, by how much more is it the best play?
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Those cards are shot.
Ooh, 3 across is not a good.
More than 0.
you're still losing the EV.
Feel fight.
In the,
Right. But like a lost chip is worth more than a 1 chip in a tournament.
yeah, I guess so.
So it's more than 0.
Hey, Chidwick's drawing live with his 8-3.
Yeah.
You're like
And we're not multi-weight.
someone who's
Sam Greenwood, the only other player involved here.
So we can double up to 10,000? Probably not.
Going to be hard to come back from this.
you also get, even if we were like
Running hearts?
you probably have like really good equity in that one hand because you're like 8xing.
It's over.
A 9.
Oh, yeah, they can chop it with a 9.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
man.
You game, buddy.
So Stephen Chidwick exits in 8th place. He does cash for $236,720.
Yes, please.
Yep.
It's a profit
Yes.
of nearly 37 grand because he was in for 2 bullets.
I think they can't. They don't need
Man,
to
I
go
thought
on because
Goose
of
was
TV,
going to be foie gras hours ago.
Yes.
And he's managed to not only cash, but ladder
What
up
time did the 100
with
get him?
5 big
12:30?
blinds. What is happening?
And that's,
I think maybe 2. It's a. I'll look it up. It's a 1 day, and 100K will get less entries than a 50, I would say.
Whatever happened to our beers?
True.
6, 7, plus,
Okay. That's a spot, guys.
Sondheimer's going for it.
Single big.
All in, triangle time.
I'm out of here.
How much?
he just too tilted.
Tilted, no beer?
116. 60. 160.
Let's go. Sure, the guy to your left.
Hunichen's called.
I like Sondheimer here.
Same there, okay? Same.
We're looking at a pair of 3s here.
Oh.
Oh, Talal just threw a bunch of chips in.
You know,
I tried to not give away
Talal's
any reads.
in the big blind, so he's
You
getting
can't
a
do the
good
Fox
price.
thing.
And he's got a good hand, ace-10.
Let's after that.
Not good for Sondheimer, that ace being out.
So we could see action on the side between Shikerchi and Hunichen. The cards don't go on their backs yet, but Sondheimer is all in and at risk.
Oh my goodness, if Hunichen busts Shikerchi and Sondheimer doubles up somehow.
King 8-5.
Okay, it's not looking good for Sondheimer now.
It's not.
Check.
3s are still ahead. Shikerchi has the nut flush draw. Action goes check,
He
check.
checked also. Yeah.
Okay, well, now there's counterfeit outs. Shikerchi and Sondheimer can chop.
Check.
10 on the river. Shikerchi takes the lead.
He's going to win the whole thing.
And we are going to lose Stefan Sondheimer.
What a bizarre turn of events this bubble and first couple of cashes have
I had you
been.
before the river anyway.
You have me?
Yeah, I had a small pair.
So Stefan Sondheimer eliminated in 7th place.
Instead of 9th.
Cashes out for $301,820. And we are down to 6.
Good game, bro.
Did not expect to get to 6 this quickly.
Because if I bet, you're never folding. You had the no flush draw.
Yes.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow.
Done.
Luck.
Tell buddy one more.
Good game. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
Game, Sam.
The mere fact that nobody is
quit?
talking about what just happened,
It's over, right?
can you imagine the
card's still running.
conversations they're going to have
Let's
later
play. Let's just play. We'll get it back, rolled back.
Let's just finish the level. Yeah,
about the
let's just
turn
finish
of
the level.
events?
And then back. And then.
Oh, players want to continue. They want to see out the level.
I think 20 minutes doesn't matter. Whatever they said is.
Pocket 8s for Chris Hunichen.
6, 10. Raise up to
She leaves the room. Good.
5,000.
So raised to 65,000. King Queen for Cortez.
But then again, if it was a dead bar, she would have gotten it long time.
Kurganov with 10s.
This could get messy. 4 minutes left on the night, unless we're going to add more time. I'm not sure.
I want another 3 minutes added to the clock.
This could get messy.
305.
7 raise up to 305.
3-bet from Igor, re-raises to 305,000.
This is somewhat committing for him.
All in.
6 and goes down.
Yeah, pair.
6 1 pass.
Hunichen moves all in and gets called by Igor. Kurganov, the player at risk. But he's a huge favorite here. This is Domination Nation.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Just run it out.
I'm all in.
Let's go, triangle me.
Kurgel's a 4-1 favorite to double up through
I know, we
Hunichen.
might need a counter afterwards. It could be close.
Be a good time for me to hit an 8.
It's not. What are you talking about? You're doing well.
Good time to hit an 8.
Oof. Right color, too.
Igor now a 9-1 favorite.
5 of diamonds for a swat.
5 of diamonds.
9
for
of
the
hearts,
sweat.
maybe. That's the max I accept.
I like the 5 of diamonds.
Actually, an 8 would leave a sweat.
Take an 8 of hearts.
It's not a good sweat.
Yeah, 8 of hearts is enough.
8 of hearts.
8 of diamonds.
Oh, boy.
Didn't want that. As someone might have guessed.
Oh, man, those extra 2 minutes might have really burnt
Fade one
Igor.
time.
Let's do this.
Fade one
The
time.
game is not stopped, but
You got one
whatever it is, let's do this.
Oh, that's
6
brutal.
Igor needs a 9 or a 10.
Oh,
It's an
my,
8.
more 8s.
Good game, buddy.
It's hashtag death by quads.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Death by quads.
And in all seriousness, if Igor had not demanded they had 2 minutes of the clock, we'd have already finished play for the day and he would have survived.
See you at the next final
He
table.
still might have gone out in 6th.
Good game, brother.
Jeez.
Do there. You did the most you should do.
Good fold.
Just hit quads. You can't do more than that.
Wow. I tell you what, at no point today did I think we'd be coming back
Take
tomorrow
it.
with fewer than 6 players.
Take it.
I mean, I thought we'd be coming back with maybe 9 or 8, not 5.
This has been the strangest penultimate day of a super high roller I have ever seen.
And here are the stacks of the final 5. This thing is deep, by the way. When we kick off the action, the blinds will be 20-40. That means the average stack is 75 big blinds. There is plenty of poker to be played, even though only 5 remain in this super high roller. But for now, from Joe Stapleton, Lex Veldhouse, and me, James Hartigan, it's good night from the Bahamas.
Catching fire to the beat of my heart. I say you're catching fire. I'll leave you burning, burning.